Hello, thanks for being in a new video. This time I have a review of the Moto Buds Plus. Let's get started. These are Motorola's high-end, fully wireless headphones that come in collaboration with Bose. So they are going to offer us good sound quality, but let me tell you absolutely everything about them. For starters, their launch price in Mexico is $2,499. That would be more or less $125, just so you have a reference, but remember that the prices here are not the same as over there. So come with me to know them in more detail. And let's start looking at the case, which comes with a fairly compact design. That's something I liked. It's going to be very comfortable to carry it. It also comes with a matte finish, which is not so easily marked with fingerprints. We will find an LED on the front, and at the top comes the logo of the brand, along with the slogan "Sound by Bose." On the back, we will find the USB-C port to charge them, but they also have wireless charging. We will talk a little later about this. When we open the case, we find the headphones placed in a very comfortable way, so it is easy to remove and put them on, although it is not so easy to open the case with one hand. But that's something that...
Pero eso es algo que...
They held up to the drop. I don't know why in headphone reviews they always fall out for me. But I was saying it's not something that you're going to be doing very constantly. However, it can get a little tricky to open the headphones with one hand, depending on what shape you manage to find. But as I say, it is quite comfortable to remove and replace them. It is a very intuitive and very easy action. And on the inside comes with a button to easily link these headphones with other devices. The case weighs a few grams. I see nothing to criticize because really in this sense they comply very well. So now let's talk about the headphones, which come with a closed design. That is to say that they have a cushion. In fact, smaller or larger ear cushions are included in the box, and in the app you have a tool that will emit some sounds to test if you indeed have the best cushion and the best placement to have the best possible noise cancellation. The headphones have a weight of 4.15 grams each, and its design is with this tube format. It has very rounded lines that makes it comfortable in the hand, and they are also comfortable to use. I was using them for a while and they never got me tired. Although I don't usually use this format of headphones for more than 1 or 2 hours, but that is a personal use. It will obviously depend on each user. Each person will also have a different ear, but in this case I think they are comfortable. They were not falling off or anything like that. The placement is easy and good. I noticed that even if I am constantly moving or opening my mouth, the hearing aid doesn't even feel a little bit loose. So the fit remains very good, and in that sense I think they have complied with good quality. These headphones also have a sensor that will detect when you put on or take off the headphones to pause or resume your content. This can obviously be turned on or off through the app so that everything works specifically the way you want it to. They also have an IP54 level of resistance against water and dust, so everyday splashes while you're exercising or if it's raining won't harm them. And by the way, if you happen to lose a hearing aid or drop it or something similar, you can use the application to make these hearing aids ring to try to find them more easily. Obviously, you must be very careful not to have one of the hearing aids on when you activate this option, because it emits a sound at maximum power so that you have a better chance of hearing it and thus find your lost hearing aid. However, they do not appear on a map or anything like that. Let's talk now about the controls, because they are located on the outside of these headphones to give touches. In this sense, they don't support swipe gestures, so they're a little bit more limited. I think there is still room for improvement in the next generation. In fact, they don't support a single touch either, probably to try to avoid unwanted touches when you fit the headset, but I would have liked to see in the application the option of a touch with the possibility of disabling it if the user wants. But the most basic gesture is 2 taps. And with this, you are going to be able to play or pause your music, as well as answer or hang up your call. However, through the application, we can modify this parameter so we can go to the next song, the previous song, increase or decrease volume, or completely disable this gesture. Also, I forgot to mention that you can change the behavior of the right earphone and the left earphone, so you gain more versatility in the controls. By tapping 3 times by default, it will go to the previous song, but you can set it to play or pause, go to the next song, or turn it off completely. And when you press and hold on these headphones, we will see a different behavior on the left and the right one, because on the left one, when you do this action, you activate the voice assistant of your cell phone, while on the right headphone, you will have the noise control to enable or disable noise cancellation or ambient mode. So, I think the controls could become one of its weakest points because it does not offer full support for all playback and volume without the need to disable some other gestures. So you as a user should analyze what you want to give priority to adjust your controls. As for the sound, they do not disappoint at all, as they have a very good sound. In fact, something that caught my attention is that it is a very loud sound. I did not even have to raise my cell phone to more than 50% volume, and I heard the sound already with a sufficiently high intensity. In addition, they also have a good presence of bass frequencies. The high frequencies are well defined, although it should be noted that if you do not have a cell phone compatible with high-resolution codecs, you may not hear the audio with so much definition, since in this case it not only has the SBC and AAC codecs that all cell phones usually have, but it also uses a high-resolution codec which is LHDC, both in version 3 and version 5. And so if you want to enjoy high-resolution audio, you do need to make sure that your phone supports this codec. If your phone does not support LHDC, you will still be able to listen to good audio, but not with as much resolution. Obviously, most high-end Motorola devices or even several mid-range devices do support this codec, since Motorola designed these headphones with its own devices in mind, but you could use them with other brands' devices as well. In this case, the manufacturer does not communicate the size of the diaphragm or anything like that, but as I say, yes, they will give us a good sound. And if you have a Motorola cell phone, you'll be able to access the factory equalizer of your device directly from the headphone settings, where you also have the spatial audio function that can track your head and how you turn it to change the style of sound. You also have some surround sound presets like smart audio, music, video, podcast, games, or you can customize the 10-band equalizer, which interestingly also has more presets like bright treble, bass boost, vocal boost, completely flat or manually band by band to specify how you want it to sound. That is if you use Motorola. If you do not use Motorola, in the configuration application of these headphones, you will also have access to an equalizer, in this case also with 10 bands and with some presets available, but we do not have access to the surround audio functions found in the Motorola. But as I say, whether or not you have a Motorola, the sound is very good. In fact, I did not feel the need to change anything in the equalizer. As they were from the factory, I liked the way they sounded, but it depends on each person's taste. The important thing here is that there is the possibility of accessing an equalizer. In addition, they also have a very good noise cancellation of up to 48 decibels, so they are able to reduce external noises in a very good way, especially bass noises and this type of noises that are usually heard, for example, in transportation. So if you like to immerse yourself in your music, yes, you can do it perfectly with these headphones. They also have the transparency mode, so that in case you need to be aware of what is being heard around you, you can activate this mode, and in fact it has a smart mode that will be able to activate the different modes depending on how you are using them. Although I don't usually use this type of modes in any headphones that offer a similar function, because sometimes it takes a little longer to detect that you need some mode, so it is much easier to manually control the noise, and in that sense you have a good experience. Now let's talk about the microphones. As these headphones incorporate 3 microphones each, then we have a total of... ouch! So we have a total of 6 microphones to pick up your voice and to pick up the noise coming from around you. So some microphones are going to be used just for active noise cancellation. Other microphones are going to be used to pick up your voice. Other microphones might pick up the sound of the wind and more to have a clear voice on calls. So let's listen to a test recorded with these headphones.
Este es un audio grabado con los Motorola Moto Buds Plus en un ambiente donde hay un ruido como de oficina sonando alrededor con
I think the voice was not heard too clearly, but you should know that it was in a very noisy environment. On my sound system, I played an ambient sound at a fairly high volume, but I still think I was able to distinguish what I spoke through these headphones. So it's not like having a microphone directly in your mouth, but they do pick up the voice well and reduce a lot of all the noise that was going on around you. Let me now tell you about the battery data that we found in these headphones. For starters, you should know that through the application you can see the current battery status of both the headphones and the case, so you are always aware of that. Without considering the case individually, The headphones without sound cancellation give you 8 hours or so of playback. You know this can vary depending on the use of each user. And considering the case, without cancellation, they give you about 38 hours. Motorola doesn't officially share figures on how long the battery lasts with cancellation, but I was testing them and they give about 5 hours of playback individually. So I guess the battery doesn't really stand out for these headphones, but at least for the type of user I am, it's good enough. I don't usually use them for such long periods of time, so for the sessions that I listen to, as soon as I put them away again, they're going to charge again, and personally, I wouldn't suffer that much from the battery, but it's entirely up to you as a user. The headphones take about an hour to recharge if they were fully discharged when you put them back in the case, and the case itself also takes about an hour to charge using its USB-C port. Lastly, let's get down to the connection side of things. These headphones feature Google Fast Pair, so as soon as you open the case, if you haven't paired them to a smartphone and you have an Android phone nearby, you'll immediately get the dialog box to initiate the connection, which is a good thing. So it's not specifically that you need a Motorola phone to make this pairing easy. Although I must say that personally I was testing with different cell phones, including Motorola, and this pairing by Google Fast Pair was never successful, always marked me an error. I had to link it manually through the list of Bluetooth devices. So even though it had Google Fast Pair, in my experience it didn't work very well for me. I don't know if it is only due to this unit that may have a problem or not. Let me know your experience in the comments if you already bought it. They don't have Microsoft Swift Pair, so you wouldn't be able to pair them as easily to laptops. But again, just go to the device list and manually pair them because you can use them with computers. They come with Bluetooth V to offer good stability. In that sense, I think they are in line with what you would expect at this price point. And yes, you can be connected to 2 devices simultaneously. Obviously, you're not going to play music from both, but you can be listening to music on your computer, and if a call comes in, your cell phone will immediately connect for you to answer. And finally, regarding latency, these headphones have a game mode that you can enable or disable from their application. Without the game mode, I tested and it gave me about 200 milliseconds of latency. With game mode, it was reduced a bit to a feeling of 120 milliseconds or so. These are not 100% accurate figures, they are simply figures of how I perceived it. Let's listen to a test with game mode on. So for now, this has been all regarding these headphones. Let me know in the comments what you thought of them, if you like them, if you already bought them even. Let me know your experience. For now, we've come to the end of this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, you know you can let me know. And see you next time.